Well, gas prices have gone through the roof. And hopefully Joe will be joining me. I started the show a little bit late, and I apologize to everyone for that. Uh, I was doing some other things, but I felt the need. Oops, I felt the need to get them done, and now I am starting my show, my podcast, and hopefully, someone will show up and we'll have an interesting dialogue and conversation. We may or we may not. I'm putting the feelers out there for a few people, but I'm really thinking that ego plays a much bigger role than what is believed to be right or anything like that, and that includes myself. I have a huge ego, and I've paid the price for it, and I think other people are also paying the price for it. And people that are politically involved oftentimes will protect their tribe, right or wrong, and that's just the way it goes. Well, I want to thank you, little Nikki. You're one of the few people that comes with good intentions, like and doesn't have the ego that other people have. And you know what? That's hey, I also have an ego, and that is my weakness. And I believe that my shit doesn't stink, and that's the way it goes. And Howard comes in with an insult because Howard thinks that he is the most intellectual person on the face of the earth, and Howard has a huge ego. He says that he has a small butt plug with a furry tail inserted. Howard follows me. He loves to insult me. He loves to, put me down, and that, you know what, that's fine. That anytime you put yourself out into the public and you do things to inform or entertain, there will be people who will criticize you, and either the criticism is valid or it's not. You know, um, I realize for the most part, I have limited ability to change people's view. I mean, that's just the truth. I wish I had. I wish I had the ability to change people's view, because I believe I'm coming in with reason and logic. But I've been told that I'm crazy. Some of the views I have are very much kind of a response, and it's probably wrong. I started to believing in ruthless punishment for criminals. Um, I still believe in punishment for criminals, but that's just my opinion. And there are people who think that individuals that do harm to others should be handled with more mercy. But how do you handle people or a group that have no mercy and no, you know, no, will show you no quarter? Should you give them the same consideration? Now, Nikki says that she personally likes unicorn butt plugs. And and Republic of Liberty coming in with the insult. This was Nikki's response was to the Republic of Liberty saying that JP has the remote control to his furry-tailed tail butt plug. And yes, Republic of Liberty, you can always expect him, Howard, to go right to the foul gutter, because that is Howard. He likes to push the envelope and be vulgar. And sometimes he's fun, but other times, not so much. But this is probably more personal therapy for me. Trying to be stoic calm and realizing, like, the moment you get up and your feet hit the ground and you go outside you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna have people that are gonna do things to piss you off, and when people fuck up, they don't admit it. That's why a lot of people are surprised how much gaslighting, or how gaslighting and lying that this administration, the Biden administration, seems to be doing to those who don't agree with him. But I've given Howard a link against my better judgment, and we'll see how things go. And hopefully he is respectful and rational, so just waiting by breath. And I'm looking at this. This was done on the 11th, and she said, "Dear Republicans, President Biden isn't to blame for gas prices. Vladimir Putin is to blame, and greedy oil companies are to blame. And you damn well know it. So cut the crap." And the truth is, people don't damn well know it. And Carisha Schnuck says, "I tried telling that to a coworker, and his response to me was that the permits that aren't being used are in places that don't have a lot of oil," or something to that effect. And these are primarily people that agree with this person. Her name is Joe, and yeah, she is. Let me see. I think she's a former so-called Republican, Jersey Democrat, news junkie, lover of puns, Lebanese, hot-headed mom, geek, and blocked by Chachi. It means blocked by God, who's the guy that played Chachi? And these people have their beliefs. And this one says, "If you're blaming this guy for higher gas prices instead of this guy," which is Biden and there's Putin, "congratulations, you're Putin's useful idiot." Neither of these things are true. Oil companies are to blame. Oh, okay. And most people, I don't think, are buying what's been said here. And we do have, and I don't know why you have such a. All right, Howard. Hello. You have anything to add about our high oil prices here in America? Are the oil price well? Are the oil prices and inflation high in Thailand? Have they struck you?
No.
I imagine you have heard about the high prices in your former country that you used to live in.
Putin is right.
Putin is right. How?
I support Putin
Jeez, why do you support Putin?
because Putin is right.
How is he right?
Putin is doing the absolutely correct thing.
Really? How is Putin doing absolutely the correct thing?
Are you repeating everything that I say?
I'm asking you a question. Okay, how so, Howard?
I can summarize this incursion war, whatever you want to call it, into Ukraine in a paragraph.
Please continue.
Putin doesn't want missiles on his borders. NATO has been creeping up to Putin, and the buffer zone is Ukraine. The buffer zone has always been Ukraine. There is talk of Ukraine becoming part of NATO. That won't happen. But Putin isn't going to take that chance. The United States, of course, mostly the Democrats, are behind pushing Ukraine into becoming a part of NATO. They're also behind pushing the Ukrainians, who had a very peaceful uh, uh, gathering in Maiden, I think is the name of it, in 2014, where the Ukrainians were peacefully protesting for days, weeks, a long time. And then the United States came in and started throwing money, including George Soros, throwing money into Ukraine, specifically giving it to the neo Nazi people who dominate the western part of Ukraine. The eastern part of Ukraine, which is Donetsk and the Donbas area, which borders with Russia, are filled with mostly ethnically speaking Russians. A lot of them don't even speak Ukrainian. The people who are in the east are not for the neo Nazis. The people in the west are. Zelensky, whether he's a Jew or not, he still supported and still supports the neo Nazi fashions. In fact, they all use the same symbolism that has been used throughout history, that is used by Antifa, the fist sticking up in the air. It's the same symbol, and it's a neo Nazi symbol. Putin has gone into eastern Ukraine to protect the people in eastern Ukraine. The people in eastern Ukraine, when Putin went in, were shelled by the western Ukrainians. The western Ukrainians have been at war with eastern Ukraine for the last, I don't know, 14, 15. It's been quite a while, maybe less than 20 years, but they've been fighting with the eastern Ukrainians, who feel that they're more aligned and not neo Nazis, and they're more aligned with Russia. They speak Russian. They don't like Nazis. Russians don't like Nazis. And there's your war in a nutshell. And you're not being told the truth. You're not being told what's going on. If you want to see what's going on, go watch some of the citizen journalists as they walk through Kiev and some of the other cities, and they can see exactly what's going on, because you're not going to be told the truth by the Western media. The Western media will tell you, oh, Russian bad, Russian dropping bombs. And you know what? You got deep fakes everywhere. You don't know what video is real and what video isn't anymore. So you've got people who have the ability to make deep fakes, and that includes the Ukrainians. The Western Ukrainians have aligned themselves with the Nazis. The Democrats from America have aligned themselves with the Nazis. That stuff you watched with between that idiot, I forget that round faced, bald piece of crap, the one that Vindman. Vindman. You watched a lot of this stuff take place when they went after Trump. You watched a lot of the players. You've got plenty of the players who are still there, still in the State Department, because the State Department is and always has been run by the Democrats. And they are for regime change. They did regime change in 2014. That's how Zelensky got in there. They had somebody in there. He was decent. He's not what did they call him? Oh, he was corrupt. Everybody's corrupt. Well, that regime change was given to you a la the United States of America under Barack Obama. And that regime change was given to you by the Democrats who put their money, including the money of George Soros, behind the Nazis. And no one should be surprised that George Soros puts his money behind the neo-Nazi fascists who have taken over the protests and have taken over the armed forces in Western Ukraine. It is the people in eastern Ukraine and the two small provinces that border Russia that are the true patriots. They're the ones who don't want to go behind the neo-Nazis and the fascists. And what you have just heard, Mr. Midnight Movie, is how you do a podcast. That was no repeat. That had no bullshit in it. You got truth. You got concise information about what's going on, and you look awfully surprised. But if you start looking at the history of Ukraine, you're going to find out that I'm telling you the truth, and you're not going to get it. Just like you didn't get it with Saddam Hussein and the weapons of mass destruction and the baby formula stuff that went on with Iraq and all the other crap that we heard and were told. Except now they have the ability to make deep fakes. So it's not enough. And the problem, of course, with some of this is that the revolution is televised. You ever wonder why you can get so much information out of Ukraine if you look for it? Because the Russians haven't done anything to the power plants. Ukrainians in the West still have power. Can't say the same for the ones in the East because the Ukrainian West is shelling the Ukrainian East because they don't like those people, because those people have sided with Russia and they're ethnically Russian. And they still have internet. How about that? Nobody's cut off their internet. Why is that? They still have food. In fact, people are getting killed. You've got collateral damage, but nothing near what you would have in a full-scale war. Putin is being very careful not to kill the Ukrainians, but you're not being told that. In fact, I think, what was it, Crimea? We were told that Putin invaded Crimea. 90% of the Crimeans voted to go with Russia. 90%. There's some history for you. It's easily obtainable. You can find out for yourself. You can verify it. But if you listen to the mainstream media, you're going to get nothing but lies.
Well, there would be people that would accuse you
Fuck them.
of being a Russian asset.
Fuck them. I'm an asset for the truth. Fuck those people who are ignorant. There's the same people who tell me that that Mectin Ivor, I did it backwards for you, that Mectin Ivor doesn't work. And yet, I just watched a video from the CDC from that Walensky or whatever her name is. Well, she said, you know, we had higher hopes for the vaccines than what we had really achieved. It wasn't exactly what we expected, and they didn't exactly work the way we thought. But we had high hopes, not science, high hopes. So these are the same schmucks who will sit there and tell me that because I use an alternative source, which has kept me safe and kept my family safe and kept everybody that I know safe, because nobody that I know that's taking that Ivor stuff has gotten sick. Nobody that I know who even got the Delta variant got sick, real sick. No one. How about that? So I don't give a shit what these people who say, well, they may say, screw them. Because they're a bunch of lemmings that suck up and suck on the teat of government.
Now, Is Vectin Ivor, is that good to take as just a preventative, even if
Yes.
you have, okay.
Yes, and there's only about 80 peer-reviewed studies out there. But hey, don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Ivor saved
Vectin
me.
Ivor, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that Mectin stuff, that Mectin Ivor saved me from catching the Delta. And I
yeah.
eventually caught the Omicron. Happy to have it. Omicron is the vaccine, a real vaccine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm, with my fasting, every doctor I've been to has said that, that's not been peer reviewed or that's kind of dangerous.
What has not been peer reviewed?
Fasting. Or they haven't shown peer review.
So
Um,
all your doctors have told you not to do it, huh? They
yeah,
just love prescribing that medicine for you, don't they?
they seem to,
They
yeah.
just can't wait for you to go get on some kind of medicine like Lanta or who knows what. They just can't wait for you to start shooting up
Yeah,
insulin.
yeah.
And nobody understands insulin resistance. Do you understand it?
No.
You don't understand it?
Well, I think I do, but then again,
Well,
I just know.
you are insulin resistant, are you not?
Yes,
You have type 2 diabetes, do you not?
yes, I do.
Yeah. And so do you really understand the function of insulin in your body and how it works?
Well, right now, I should understand more because I am diabetic, and that's one of the things I should do. But
Yes,
it,
Howard can explain it to you.
go ahead.
You are insulin resistant. You don't have not enough insulin. You have too much insulin. Your liver is full of it. You're full of it. You're normally full of it. And you can create insulin when you eat. Your body will create it. But guess what? Your cells are full of insulin too. And you got so much insulin in you that your body doesn't respond. So you need more insulin. So when you start getting that shot of insulin, how much insulin do you think you're going to take? Because you're going to have to pump so much insulin into your body, much more than your body is capable of creating. See, you don't have too little insulin, you have too much. And your body is going to have mega amounts so that it can be forced into your cells so that you can get rid of sugar, so you can regulate sugar. You have enough already. That's why you're going to be taking massive amounts of insulin through a needle if that's the way you go. However, if you continue fasting, certainly the way that I am, I've already cut my medicine in half. I take Jardiance. I was taking 25 milligrams, and now I'm taking 12.5. And I'll cut that in half soon, too.
Can you take it on an empty stomach?
Yes. In fact, you're supposed to take it on an empty stomach. Do you have Jardiance?
I have, I have Forxica, which is the same thing.
Uh huh. And does your bottle say you should take before meals?
It doesn't say anything about that. I mean, I can read the directions here, which I have not done, by the way.
What does it say?
I'm kind of lazy. Oh, see.
What does the pharmacy thing that they printed with your name on it? What does it say? How does it say to take this medicine?
Let me take a lookie.
No, you're not looking at the wrong thing. What does the pharmaceutical paper say?
This is the pharmaceutical paper.
The one from your pharmacy, not from the drug company.
On the thing?
Yeah, on the thing. That's the one that's got
On the bottle.
instructions specific to you.
Okay, it says take one tablet by mouth daily. And it doesn't say take
That's
the.
all it says? Your
Yeah.
pharmacist is a schmuck. Now,
Take one
go
right
back.
now. I'm gonna take it on an empty stomach. Howard, if I get sick, I'm gonna send bad vibes your way.
Now, go back to Ukraine.
Yes.
Since you went to the go-to that everybody goes to, which is, well, you're going to be labeled a collaborator. You're going to be labeled that you like Russia.
Have you heard what happened to Tulsi Gabbard?
No.
You haven't heard with Mitt Romney and Mitt Romney has
Did he rape her?
How would you say something stupid like that, Howard?
Because I think Mitt Romney puts a dog on top of his car and drives around. I can't imagine that rape could be far away from that. Do you?
Give me a break, Howard.
I bet you as a child he had a big magnifying glass.
Howard, shame.
What about Mitt Romney, schmuck that he is?
Well, Mitt Romney has said that Tulsi Gabbard has been spreading Russian misinformation, and she's acting as a Russian asset.
Is that right? This is the man who's told the truth all these years, huh?
I don't know.
And anybody should listen to Mitt Romney? Fuck him. What do you think of what I just said about Ukraine and Russia?
You know what? Before I say anything about that, I'm going to have to look up the evidence for myself. Where are your sources? Just out of curiosity.
The big source is a documentary that you didn't see.
Oh, that was done by Oliver Stone, correct?
That's right.
You can see that. You can see the that documentary, by the way, on Rumble.
You can see that documentary on band.video.
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 And that was done in 2016, correct?
Correct. You can also watch the video that I sent around. I believe I sent it to you by a gentleman from the University of Chicago. I think his name was Mearsham or something, Mir something or other. And you can see that on YouTube. And he will, from also a 2016 video or 2014 video, I'm not sure, he will document everything that's happening today, except it didn't happen when he said it. He predicted that it would happen. Every single thing going on today. It's very simple. Putin doesn't want missiles on his borders. No different than when the United States had missiles in Cuba and we didn't want the missiles in Cuba. By the way, you probably don't know this, but that was a result of our putting missiles in Turkey. So Khrushchev put missiles in Cuba in response to our putting missiles first in Turkey. And he didn't like that. So you can imagine that if Khrushchev didn't like missiles in Turkey, Putin sure as shit doesn't want missiles, and he's being threatened with them in eastern Ukraine. Do you even know that eastern Ukraine borders Russia?
I've heard that. I mean, it's not something that's stuck in my mind. I listen to some of this stuff sparingly.
Why sparingly?
Because I have no control over it.
Ah, but you do. You have influence. Why do you open your big fat yap on this podcast every day?
It's more for myself. If anyone gets anything from it, it's a bonus. But I do this more for self enjoyment because at the end of the day, I don't know how anyone's going to take it or perceive it.
Did you enjoy when 2 days ago our Donning White sheet apparently, I'm told, excoriated me and said all sorts of nasty things? Did you enjoy that?
No, I didn't.
Why didn't you stop him? Why didn't you say to him what you've always said to me, which is, well, he's not here to defend himself, but I am here now. So where is that drunken white robe piece of shit? Where is he? Let him show some balls and come head to head with the one angry Jew, because the one angry Jew destroys him every time they clash, doesn't he?
I don't know.
But why didn't you tell him, well, he's not here to defend himself. You shouldn't be saying those things. Did you giggle? I'll never know because I didn't see it. Other people did. I've been told. But I think you have a copy of this. I think that you should send me a copy of that beginning of the program so that I can see for myself.
I will. I'm not that savvy, but I will. I will see about getting a copy. Like, because I put that show on private.
Yes, you did. Well, why don't you? Oh, well, then you can very easily give me access to that show, can't you?
By the way, someone has
I
said,
never understand what's going on with Angela. I'm sure she's had a raging yeast infection since 2010, and yet she's still going with this lentil soup stuff. Why are you making a face? Yeah, you don't want to go near that yeast infection. It's nasty.
all right, well,
Why did you allow him to say those things? I'm told it was terrible.
you know what? At that time, for me, there was a lot going on, and
You're making excuses.
well, that's I'm just saying, if I did that, I didn't intend to, but there are times I'm not.
Obviously, you intended to because you did it over and over again. How long was that white robe scumbag's rant?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Well, the show was at
No,
least an hour. It was over an hour.
I just know that I had to put it on private.
You put it on private at the end only because, and I will say this only once. I will try never to say this again because I
He
don't
said
like
the N word.
saying this word.
He
I don't
said
like saying.
no. Don't say it. Don't say it, Howard.
Don't say what.
Don't say any N word.
Okay, you said it for me. I don't have to say it.
There we go. Thank you.
I don't like this masking. Is there a K word out there?
Probably.
I don't think there is. I never heard anybody call a Jew a K word.
Have you ever been called the K word?
Absolutely. Go get JP on here and let's see if he's ever heard of anybody using the K word for a Jew.
The only time that I've ever seen a Jew be called the K word, like to his face, was by another Jew, by the way.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, black people seem to like to call each other the what? What was that word?
Word. There we go. All right.
Yes. But they don't say that. They say it all the way, but they give some inflection.
Yeah.
And the
Howard,
ending two letters are AR or ER. Apparently, when they say it, they tell everybody, "Well, we're saying it with AR. We're not saying it with ER."
and they own that word right now. At this point in time,
Wait. Who gave them ownership?
on the internet, the people that run the internet. Well, you know what? I don't. The truth is, I don't
Nobody
know.
gave them ownership.
Okay, no one gave them ownership. Okay,
They've assumed ownership, and because
but
you are all too afraid, you allow it.
they are protected by the establishment.
They are protected by themselves. They're
They are
protected. Well,
protected by the establishment.
how interesting that they are protected by the gay lesbian tribes, but black people don't like gays and lesbians. Did you know that?
Either way, the double standards are protected by the establishment, whether I like it or not.
Is that right? Back to Ukraine.
Yes.
Everything I told you was verifiable. The media, well, we can go back to baby milk and And
What about
Saddam
what about what about
Hussein.
what about high oil prices here in the United States?
And what about them?
Is it the fault of Putin and greedy oil execs?
I'm sorry. When did Putin invade Ukraine?
Putin invaded Ukraine, I think, in late February.
Late February. When did gasoline prices start going up?
Uh, Shortly after Biden went into office.
How about the day after Biden went into office when he cut off the Keystone Pipeline scumbag that he is? By the way,
Yes.
if it's okay if we sell all the oil fields to Saudi Arabia or Venezuela, all of our oil fields, so long as they come and pump it and supply us with oil that we buy from them. That's okay. It's okay to go to Saudi Arabia and get oil again. It's okay to buy the oil from Canada. In fact, how interesting that it's okay to buy oil from Canada, but we can't produce any oil in the United States because we have to go green. But it's okay to buy it from Canada because it's not the United States. By the way, wasn't that pipeline bringing the oil from Canada down into the States?
Yes.
I
But
think it was.
now,
Uh,
Woodstock.
I would like to give a message to Nikki. I would be happy to put pins in your eyes and shove a huge butt plug up your ass. And I would coat it with
All right. Geez, Howard.
I would coat it with chiropractic mineral ice. I think you'd enjoy that.
That's wonderful.
Where is JP? Why is he here but he's silent?
JP is choosing to be silent protest. I don't know.
And what medication do you think we can prescribe, which would be all over the counter here, for Angela's thriving yeast infection, which has obviously caused her to go off the rails?
That's yeah. You have no proof of that. And political Woodstock says Howard is cranky. Is cranky. He's ill.
I've not heard her deny a raging yeast infection.
Jeez, Howard. Why do you go to the gutter?
Back to Ukraine.
Okay.
You want to call me a Russian? What was the word you used?
Well, if you were to do a show and
Yes.
the Democrats heard it, they would say, "You're a Russian asset," and they'd say, "We need to bring back Joe McCarthy."
As if I give a shit.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, yes.
Now, why would I care what Democrats have to say?
Well, yeah. Well, people like Mitt Romney might say the same thing.
Who cares about what Mitt Romney says? Why does Tulsi Gabbard care what Mitt Romney says?
I guess they do. I don't know if anything's going to change.
I don't think anybody's going to change. I think you have no idea what's going on over in Europe right now. And what's going to happen. What's the price of gold right now?
Not sure.
Why don't you know?
Haven't looked.
Obviously, you don't have any.
That's correct.
Otherwise, you'd be interested.
That's correct.
And you're holding dollars.
That's correct.
I have no dollars.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. When I get dollars, I immediately change them into something else. Why do I do that?
Because you believe that the dollar is going to go to shit.
Dollar is already gone to shit. What do you think the dollar is worth anything right now?
What currency right now is what currency do you put your stock in?
At the moment, the Thai baht and gold. Gold is a currency.
Yeah, gold is a currency, I suppose.
Bring Angela on and let her deny her raging yeast infection.
I will not. I will not do that. I prefer not to take the show to that level. It's not polite.
You're talking about Mitt Romney.
Well, Mitt Romney. How is that? But that I'm not being vulgar.
I'm sorry. Do you think Mitt Romney's a Republican?
He's registered as a Republican.
I didn't ask you that. Do you think he's a Republican?
I don't think he is in line with the majority of Republicans. No.
No, he's very much not aligned with the majority of Republicans. Are you?
Probably more so, but
I have a prediction for you.
yes.
When the Republicans win both the House and the Senate, they won't have the White House, so nothing will change. We're going to have to endure another 2 years of Biden and whoever runs him and all the malfeasance that he can muster. But what do you think the Republicans will do to muzzle the Democrats? Do you think they will try to muzzle the Democrats?
Yes. Perhaps.
I don't think they will. I don't think they'll do anything. I think they're scared of everything.
You might be right.
By the way, everybody should be watching all four of the years of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Alrighty.
And you've not seen it, have you?
No, Howard, I have not.
One of the funniest Jewish shows on the air. Where can you find it, you ask? Well, I could tell you where to download the torrents, but you can find it on Amazon. Now, what is it that you're looking at that has anything to do with the topic of your show? You, sir, have checked out, have you not?
Perhaps.
Now, are you checking out because I have overshadowed you again, or what's the reason that you have checked out and started looking at? Well, I don't even know what you're looking at. You're looking at your Twitter feed. This is your Twitter feed.
Yes.
Well, so tell me, where have you checked out to?
Oil prices.
You're not looking at oil prices. Are you having an out of body experience?
No.
Where is your neon kerchief? Why is it not prominently displayed? You should display it like a Haitian, putting a tire around somebody and lighting it on fire.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that, Howard.
You do know that that's a favorite of Haitians.
Necklacing? South Africans as well, I believe.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Such wonderful people.
Yes.
Back to Ukraine, which was the topic of discussion, was it not?
Well, it's a grab bag. It's called Stoic Calm. It's not called Ukraine, but if you wanted to bring up Ukraine, I'm fine with hearing your opinion on it.
I already brought up Ukraine. I'm the one that brought it up, not you.
Yes, you did.
What were you talking about?
At the moment, I was talking about how ego is stronger than profit.
How much you want to bet that anyone who's listening, which is not very many, think that my topic is better than yours?
Perhaps.
I used to do that on talk radio all the time. I used to come in at the beginning of the overnight shows. They get on at 1 o'clock. Austin Comer was one of my favorites. Nice old man, really nice old man. I really liked him. But I would come in and I would change his show's topic every time he was on. See, you think I just do this to you. I've been doing this for 30 years. I'm a master at
I,
it.
I think that perhaps at this moment I might be the only one you do it to who has a show at the moment. I could be wrong. I don't know if you call any other shows besides mine or get on any other
Well,
show.
how would you know what I follow?
I don't know.
I
Who do you?
have over 1,300 subscriptions on my YouTube channel, but
Okay.
not the one that I'm using to comment on your channel.
Why don't you send a link for your YouTube channel so I can listen to it?
Why would I do that?
So I can listen to it.
What would you listen to?
Your channel.
Hmm.
Maybe see it as well.
Exactly. Back to Ukraine. What do you know about Ukraine?
Um, I know that it borders Russia, and the left has used it uh, to save, to state for high oil prices, and this administration is clearly backing the Ukrainians. And I don't know if you've heard of Mark Levin. Mark Levin is also,
The fascist Ukrainians.
yeah, Mark
The
Levin.
ones who use a Nazi symbol for their army. Isn't it interesting that so many Jews are standing with Ukraine?
In
They're
America.
not standing with the Eastern Ukrainians. They're standing with the West.
Yeah, you said that, and that more than likely that sounds very plausible and very true.
Tell Nikki not to leave that butt plug in too long. It does not good things.
There we go, Howard.
There we go. What?
Going to the gutter, Howard.
Well, bring Angela on. She'll tell you all about butt plugs.
You made her leave. She said, "Bye, Brian. This is tired."
No, she dares not come on with me, and you know it. She's afraid.
And Debbie has asked about the 4 pillars of Stoicism. And
Do you know even one?
well, the number one is flowing with nature, and dealing with what is striving to deal with what is in your control and recognizing what is not in your control. And it's about respecting nature, like and human nature at that. You, on average, do not have control over anyone else's opinion but your own.
No, I have a control over everybody's opinion that listens to this abortion of a show.
Yeah, but I mean, whether it's going to resonate with them or not depends on their personal point of view.
Doesn't matter if it resonates. Do you think I care?
I'm not looking. I did not. I was not looking them up, Debbie.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
That's why you have. That's why you have your finger on your cheek.
So silly.
That's why you're laughing the way that you're laughing, because you've been caught.
I'm laughing.
Like a little boy, you laugh.
I'm laughing because you're silly.
No, you're laughing because you got caught.
I did not get caught. You didn't see, like, right here, like but you know what I mean.
Why is your head turning the close to a shade of a tomato?
The shade of my face has not changed.
It has. You can see it when you do a replay, unless you put this on private as well. You and your face have started to turn red. You're gated. See the way you're holding your hands? You're
Yes.
protecting yourself.
I'm comfortable.
No, the way that you're holding your hands proves that you're uncomfortable.
Okay. You say that. You say that that proves that I'm uncomfortable.
You're petting yourself.
Petting myself.
That's right. You're petting yourself. Holding your hands the way that you're holding them is called petting.
Oh, this is this is actually this.
No, that's something else.
Okay.
That's what you say to people when you want to prove that you can chew gum and do something else at the same time.
Okay.
But you're interlacing your fingers is a protective mode. It's called gating.
Hmm.
What are you hiding? What are your crimes?
My crimes? I don't think I've committed any crimes, but
Well, you commit a crime every time you do one of these shows. But tonight, you tried to fake it with the stoicism thing, which you were completely wrong. Something about nature. Tell me, where is nature in the four things that Debbie had to show you about stoicism? You obviously didn't do your homework.
the four pillars of Stoicism are wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance.
Yes. Where did you pull nature from?
What do you mean where I pulled nature from?
Well, you said it's something about being with nature. Where did you get that from? Did you incorrectly look up one of the tenets of Buddhism?
No, but Stoicism, from my understanding, does value nature.
You don't seem too sure of yourself.
I said from my understanding, but I could be wrong.
Again, your understanding doesn't seem very sure.
No,
Do you hate it when I come on?
sometimes.
Do you loathe me?
No,
Did you enjoy when donning white sheets and big tall hats was attacking me? Did you feel some triumph at the time?
no,
Do you think I got the best of donning white sheets and hats?
yes,
Did you enjoy that?
no,
Do you secretly hate Donning for his disgusting views?
no,
He doesn't like Jews. Do you support that? Not liking Jews?
no.
Then why do you give him a piece of your show? When he comes on, you grin from ear to ear. You seem to have a strange love affair with this drunken, broken man. You've got somebody in your audience right now that heard what he said. That would be Debbie. Maybe she would like to come on and just give a synopsis of what he said about me. You would be okay with that, wouldn't you?
Sure. I'll put out the link for her if she wants.
Hmm. Why don't you, since you can play that show, why don't you just play a minute or two? You love to play clips. Why don't you bring that show up on your YouTube and play some of the beginning where he was saying all those things about me? Let's hear what he had to say.
I'm I'm not. You know what? I want to be
But you're about to tell me you can't play it, weren't you? But you can
well. Again, there
because
were.
it's on your channel. It
You
may be
know what?
private for everybody else, but
I
not
will
for
do
you.
something like that at a later date, but I'm not going to do that now because there are words in there that I don't want displayed again.
Wait a minute. You mean to say that he used words in his attack on me that caused you to pull that show down? Yet you said you pulled it down because of what word? Not the K word, not the M word. That's yet to be determined. We don't know what that is yet. Certainly not the J word. So, what words did he use that made you want to
F
pull the
word,
show down?
the F word to describe gays, and the N word to describe, you know,
What did he use to describe me?
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Do you remember it being vile, vicious, vitriolic, and violent?
He was angry.
I just gave you four V's. You couldn't even come up with the pillars or whatever. There were four of them. I just gave you four V's off the top of my head.
Hmm.
What was he angry about?
Uh, I don't remember what he was angry about. I just know that he was angry.
Do I appear angry to you right now?
No.
But yet you think he was angry
Yes.
with me.
With anyone that he considered to be anti-white.
Does he consider me to be anti-white?
I think he thinks of you as a shit starter, but
But he doesn't think that I'm a white man. He thinks I'm a Jew. He's made that abundantly clear.
yes.
So, do you think it was my comment the night before when I made it quite clear as I was excoriating him because I had woken up and heard him on your show? So I woke up, I saw you were doing a show, I tuned in, I listened a little bit, and I then called in. Do you remember what I said to him?
No.
I said that I had gotten out of my bed in which there was a woman naked, sleeping. Something I'm sure he's not had in quite a long time, if ever, and certainly would never get, being the drunken loser that he is. Do you think maybe that's what pushed him over the edge? Because it was the very next day that he made this horrible and unwarranted attack upon me. I just told the truth. In fact, the same woman is in my bedroom right now waiting for me. What was that you just flashed up from Debbie and got rid of so quickly?
Well, yeah. I mean, like your opinion. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So he said he called you horrible names, and I don't.
Well, I know I don't know because Debbie said that. I didn't hear it because you put it on private so that no one could hear it. I wanted to hear it, but I could not. We
How,
could hear one, we could hear 30 seconds of it right now. You could go on your YouTube and just play it because it's not private for you. You can play it. And
all right.
yet you don't want to do that.
I will. I will play the show, and I will do it live at another date. But at this point in time, and actually, it is getting rather late, Howard, and I want to fix myself my food before I go to work.
Well, what would that food consist of, if I may ask?
Meats and vegetables.
Meats for breakfast?
No, meats for a late lunch. 3:45, 4 o'clock is when I eat.
So will this be Cold meat or hot meat?
It'll be more than likely cold.
And what kind of meat will it be?
It'll be pastrami and roast beef.
Pastrami and what?
Roast beef.
You mix pastrami and roast beef. And you will not do
I
this pastrami justice by
I
putting it on rye bread.
I have it in separate plates, and no, I will not have it in rye bread. All right, Howard, is there anything to add before I end this show?
What will the vegetable be?
Broccoli and carrots,
Cooked how?
not cooked raw, with vinegar.
Hold on, I'm sorry.
And I'll
Why vinegar?
because I like it. It brings it a taste, and it's good for my high blood pressure and diabetes.
Hold on a second. You just use vinegar on vegetables?
Yes,
You don't mix it with any olive oil.
that's correct.
I'm going to have to help you with a good salad dressing. You should get yourself some balsamic vinaigrette. Something
Doesn't that have
nice.
sugar?
It has a little bit of sugar. It doesn't have a lot. You don't have to use a lot. But you should mix that with some nice olive oil. And you can use apple cider vinegar if you want in this particular mixture. Cut up some hot peppers. Cut up some and make a salad dressing out of it. And you mix in mustard. And there's your salad dressing. And you mix it so it has the consistency of a good salad dressing, and it will be mostly fat, just like you.
All right, Howard. With that being said, hey guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
What will you tell Debbie, who has not been on because you kept her off?
I invited her on. She chose not to come on for whatever reason.
Did you invite Angela?
Yeah, and they both decided not to come on for whatever
How
reason.
many people are watching this abortion of a show?
I don't know.
How many
All
would
right,
you like? How many would you like to watch?
as many as possible.
Do you have an air purifier in your apartment?
In my bedroom, yes.
You have an air conditioner in the bedroom.
Yes.
Is it a wall unit?
Yes.
Fits in a window?
Yes.
You pay $2,000 a month for that rat trap?
I pay close to that.
Close to that. How many square feet?
Not sure.
How many rooms?
Two, what would they would call bedrooms. I have a living room, a kitchen,
Are
and a
you in one of the bedrooms?
yes.
And what size do you think this is? Is that the bigger of the two bedrooms?
I believe so, yes.
So you sleep in the smaller bedroom.
Perhaps. I'm not sure.
That's very
About
interesting.
the same size, I think. I don't know.
Does your kitchen have a window?
I don't remember. I think so, yes.
Well, wait a second. You saw it today, did you not?
I wasn't paying attention.
You've never paid attention? I mean, this is very interesting to me that I could ask you if your kitchen has a window and you're not sure.
That's correct. I don't. You know what? Now I'm gonna. You know what? When I'm done with this show, I'm gonna see if my kitchen has a window.
How can that possibly be that you don't know if your kitchen has a window or not?
Never crossed my mind to remember that.
Look, if I said to you, if you asked me if I had a window where I could look out from my kitchen, and I said to you, I don't know, would you find that to be odd?
No,
You wouldn't.
that's correct.
You are more deeply embedded in, I don't even know what to describe it, than I thought you were. That's crazy. What color is the tile in your bathroom?
Don't know.
Do you have tile in the bathroom?
Yes.
Do you have a shower or a tub?
Both.
You have a shower and a tub, or they're one and the same?
They're one and the same, Howard.
They're one and the same. What color's the bathtub?
White.
Is there a window in the bathroom?
I believe so.
You're not sure?
No.
I have to say this is bizarre.
Okay, Howard. Howard, I have to end the
Get
show.
JP to unmute himself so that I can ask him the same questions, because I'm sure JP knows the answers.
He may. Anyway,
No, I have no doubt that he will know the answers. What I find amazing
Howard, I'm ending the
is
show. You have managed to go on longer than necessary. Like, subscribe, leave a comment.
are you a hoarder?
No. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for listening. Boo-hoo.